Alright, so I wanted to do a video on my 2019 Chicago Marathon experience. It was great, and I know this is going to be a rambling video, so I'm sorry about that, but I do think that I could provide some really valuable insight. So, a little background, I started running just a few years ago, and then I wound up getting into the marathon for 2019, the Chicago Marathon. And I hadn't run any races at that point. I've never even done a 5K, a 10K, nothing. Not even like a park run or anything like that. So I knew it was going to be a new experience for me. And I knew it was pretty daunting, But so this is going to be just like kind of what I learned as a part of going through that process. So the first part was, I really liked, so I got there really early, and a lot of people said, don't get there so early. I think that was really advantageous for me. I was there, I was calm, I could stretch, do a lot of stuff like that. Just keep the nerves calm, because it's pretty daunting when you start seeing, 45,000 people, when you're used to running through your neighborhood. So that was the first thing. I got there really early, and I would recommend getting there early, just so you can calm your nerves and do what you need to do. The second thing was, trust your training. So the whole marathon, I was worried about hitting the wall. I was worried about not finishing. I was very conservative on my pace, way too conservative. I trained easily for a sub 4 marathon, probably more like 3:45. And I didn't really trust my training because it was new to me. It was something new. I had never run this far before. But you have to trust your training, because on race day, I felt really prepared. And in fact, when I finished the marathon, I was coming across the line. I think my last mile was 7:30. So, which is not, it's just to say that I left way too much out there. I mean, I could have really increased my pace, further, in the beginning of the race. So that was one thing. I didn't trust my training. The second mistake that I made, and I'll go over mistakes first, and then I'll tell you the stuff that I did right other than getting there early. I thought that was good. But the second mistake I made was I was petrified of the wall and, dehydrating possibly. So I stopped at every aid station, and some of the aid stations I even stopped at twice, which, man, looking back at that, when I was looking at my watch, I was increasing sometimes up to 10 minutes and 30 seconds pace, because, you have to weave kind of in and out of people slowing down. I did not need to stop at every aid station. That was just me not having the knowledge that not trusting my training and not knowing that I could go that distance. What's another? Oh, the biggest thing was I had to go to the bathroom. At 10K, I had to pee. So I figured it's early in the race. I felt good. I can make that time up. Well, I paused my watch, and I forgot that I paused my watch at the end. But when it came out, it was actually almost a 5-minute delay, which was pretty heartbreaking, because I trained for a sub 4. That was my goal, was to just get under 4. Anything other than that would have been better. But I finished at 4:04:11, and I had a 4-minute and 50-second bathroom break at 10K at the first set of washrooms. I didn't even think about it. That was really the thing that really brought me to finish in over 4 minutes, because if I look at 4:04:11, if I don't stop at the bathroom, I finish sub 4. If I would have paced myself a lot better with the aid stations, I pretty much think 2 or 3 other minutes could have been taken off of that. So that was like a really big thing. Trust your training. Don't stop and go to the bathroom unless you absolutely have to. Aid stations, make sure when I'm doing my training runs, I would drink every 3 or 4 miles. I would have something to drink. But in the marathon, I'm stopping at every aid station, which was, probably every mile and a half, somewhere around there. So don't do that. Again, the biggest thing, trust your training. I trained hard. I was running, at the end when I stopped, I was running 75 miles a week. I think that's too much, actually. I think for this, I have a marathon coming up on May 17th, and then I'm running Chicago again in October. I think I'm going to bring it down to like 50 or 55 miles a week, but I'm going to really increase the speed work to get my speed up. And I've already done that. So I have an up-tempo workout, which is my first run of the week. My third run of the week is speed work, which, let's see, last week I did 5 by 1K at 7 minutes a mile, and then I did 10 by 200 meters at 6 minutes a mile. So I'm hoping that'll bring my time down. But those are like the biggest things. I mean, other than that, I mean, I did do some stuff right. I trained right because I never hit the wall. That never happened. I mean, honestly, when I got done with the marathon, I saw people like limping and falling out, and I was fine. I mean, I was sore. You definitely feel it. You could feel it in your legs and your glutes and pretty much everything. But I didn't feel like I was incapacitated. I didn't feel like, I couldn't do anything. In fact, the next morning I went deer hunting. So I think I really trained well. I was very religious. I was running 6 days and 7 days a week. I threw some swimming in there. So the other thing was I kind of did some cross training where I did some swimming. I think that was important to keep the wear and tear off the body, because I do have a little bit of a tendonitis in my right Achilles. I did do some stuff right, but you really have to, it's a really strategic thing that I wasn't really ready for. But then again, this is my first race. I think it would be really wise if you're going to run run a marathon, run a couple races first. I think that would have helped me, and I think I would have worked some of this out before I got, into the marathon. And I think I would have achieved my goal even more. I think I probably would have been realistically around 350, somewhere around there. And I think that would have 350, 355. I think that would have been good for my first marathon. But now I'm training really hard again. So also shoes, make sure you get the best shoes you can have. I chose to run in the Nike Next Percent, which you saw my video on the Next Percent. I really liked them. I thought they were great. They continue to be the fastest shoe I run in. But I do train in the other shoes I train in are the Hoka Bondi 6s and Brooks Glycerin 17s to keep my feet, my ankles, good. The other thing that I did notice, and I'm going to show you here, my watch. So I have a Garmin. I have a Vivo Active, right? So a lot of people said, don't look at your watch. Your watch isn't going to work for the first however many miles. There's too many watches. And I got to say, the thing performed flawlessly. I mean, even when I looked at the map of what I ran, some people showed, and it looked like they ran into the lake and all sorts of stuff. Mine was basically perfect. And I'll tell you, only for like the first maybe mile, it was registering 11 minutes a mile. And I know I wasn't running 11 minutes a mile. But it really, and it's a Garmin Vivo Active Music. So that's the watch. So it's the Vivo Active Music, and I can, which I'll do a review on this, by the way. I love this watch. I think it's great. It's light. You don't even know you're wearing it. But it really helped me kind of keep my pace. And really how I screwed up was when I took the break at the washroom, I paused the watch. So when I started again, I restarted the watch. And when I was coming in, that's why I started running so fast, because I thought I still have a chance to break that 4-minute or 4-hour barrier, even though I stopped. Well, I didn't realize I had the watch stopped. So when I crossed the finish line, I was actually sub 4 when I looked at my watch, but I didn't take into account that almost 5 minutes. So, that's kind of my take. It was a great event. People were amazing. It was just a really cool experience. Probably one of the coolest things I've ever done. The energy on the course, I recommend doing it, even if you're not looking for a time or I want to try and qualify for Boston. That's my goal. And I would like to qualify for Chicago 2021 without going through the lottery. And I'm running for charity. I'm running with Team Salute, so I'll probably put something up there that, I need to get donations for my page so that I can give them the money for the veterans. It says Team Salute is for running for veterans. So that's really all I have. I mean, I really had a great time. I thought it was a great race. I finished, I have to say, I don't want to say I was disappointed, because I'm not. I finished the marathon as the first race I've ever run. But I will say there was an element of I kind of was disappointed because I knew that my time could have been so much better when I looked after the race and when I started thinking about, how much time I was blowing at each water station and, the bathroom break. That's just that almost 5 minutes of stoppage. That's not going to happen again. So, my nutrition. I use Spring Energy gels. I think those were critical because they're great. They don't bother my stomach. They gave me the energy I needed to keep going. What else? I took some salt pills. I did take just a few of them at the end because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't depleting my electrolytes too much. And those actually help. They really, really help. Didn't have any GI problems at all with the Spring Energy too. I don't know so the whole time I trained with Spring Energy, like I said, no GI problems at all. It tastes good. And it really, I think but again, my advice on that is make sure you run with what you train in, and that goes with everything. That goes for your compression socks, that goes if you're wearing them, your arm sleeves, your shirt, your shoes, everything. Run in them a little bit before you choose to run the marathon because, it is a pretty grueling distance. I mean, I know there's the ultras out there, the 50s, the 100s, the 150s, but I mean, 26.2 miles is a pretty grueling race. So don't be trying anything new on race day. I guess that would be another one. But that was like, I've seen that on a lot of different, my first marathon, what I wish I knew videos. But nothing about the water stations. Like, don't stop at every water station. You don't have to do that. And you're going to burn a lot of time, and it's going to affect you, as you're finishing. So that's kind of my take. I'm going to have some reviews coming up. I'm going to do a full review on the Vivo Active, although it's been out for a while, so there's plenty of reviews. You guys can go look at that out there. I do have headphones that I really like, the Aftershocks. I'll do a review on those because I think those are really good for the application. Therefore, I think, again, if you're looking for pure sound, I don't think they're the best as far as sound goes. But what they're for, I think they really do well. So stay tuned for more videos. I'm going to have some training videos coming up. I'm going to have, kind of as I'm training for my next marathon and then, going towards Chicago 2020, I'll have some videos up for that. So stay tuned. But that is definitely the three or four biggest takeaways I got, which I think could actually help somebody, even somebody who's run a couple marathons. I think all of this stuff is really pertinent. So, all right, stay tuned. Keep watching. Keep tuning in. Subscribe if you like it. Let me know if you don't. Give me some comments on the bottom, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you out there at some time when we're running. See ya.